have created this particular selector name over here. So in the very first case, we are going to make a width of 100%. Then we are going to create a background property of, for say, this one. So let's check whether it is working or not. Let's get back to our project and reload, and we can see that it is practically working. It is now 100% device width, and everything right now lies in the same order as we can see over here. If we press Ctrl+Shift+M, there it goes, it is working for this 320 pix device width. Now let's get back to this full preview. First thing is we need to change the background color of this particular list holder. So in the first case, press F12 first of all and select this particular list element here. There it goes. This is the UL class, list class, UL class. We are looking for a background color. Here it goes. If we turn it off, we can see that practically the background color of this entire tab element is now gone. So this is the class which is actually responsible for the background color of this particular tab pen header element. So we need to copy this class from here. Let's copy this thing, get back to our project, and here first of all let's put it, and here we will be turning it off. So we have used this particular part as this background transparent. Press Ctrl S, get back to your project. First of all, close this code inspector panel, reload, and you can see that it is now in the same order as it has been expected. This customization is practically working. We can see that the header element is practically out of this background color, the white one, which has been the default background color of this tab pen element. We have successfully rectified it in the very first case. Now another thing that we need to take care that in case if we use the same tab pen classes which has been defined by the Materialize CSS in some other places of this particular page, then it will be following the same property as we can see over here, because we have practically targeted this whole selector name, and any div element which is practically using this particular class of dot tabs, it will be practically having a background color of transparent. It won't be having any default background color has been defined by this Materialize CSS. So in that particular case, we need to restrict it for the individual particular class that we are using over here. We are practically restricting that this individual property will be restricted, will be limited for this particular class only. So that is why all we are going to do, we are going to create it, we are going to copy it, and we are going to paste it over here. Now if we get back to our project and below, we can see that practically everything is working. There's absolutely no problem with it. Everything is working right over here, and this will be restricted for this particular class of tab pen holder. So there it goes. It will be restricted. This property will be restricted to this particular class of tab pen holder. This is the first thing. Now we need to change the text alignment of this particular text of this particular tab pen holder. So in that case, all we need to do, first of all, press F12 again, select this particular text element. Now all we can see, there it goes, class style display block. Now here we can see that this is the width, left, right, call S12. So everything is been written over here. For say now let's place this text alignment justify. So we can see that whenever this particular justify class is been provided over here, everything is now justified, the text is now justified. In case if you wish to change this particular class here to center, we can see that right now the text alignment is in center. There's absolutely no problem with it. So this is practically the class which is responsible for these individual elements over here in an order to have some text alignment of this individual texts. So we need to copy this class to, and we need to paste it over here. And here we may put this particular term of text alignment. Or you may put it to justify. So if we now reload, we can see that everything is been justified right over here. The text alignment is in a justified alignment. But on the other hand, as I have told you, that this thing will be problematic in case of every classes, in case of every element which is practically using this particular class, like this row called S12. Those classes will be, those elements will be using the same thing as being provided over here. So that is why you need to restrict them in this particular case to, you need to confine this individual property of text align justify only for the particular tabs element which lies inside this particular class of tab pen holder. So that is what the exact thing that we need to know from this tutorial. We have now used of this particular class of tab pen holder and make a better usage of it.